How much of this, when an operation like this is taking place, the White House is aware of it a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year prior to it happening? Like, is this something that Biden knew about 3-6 months ago? Or is it last minute, hey guys, here's where we are, we found them, let's make the phone call, take them out, boom?
Yeah. So generally speaking, you know, there's kind of a pulse or tabs on guys in certain areas. When something like this happens, it's generally to a degree with which there's very, very credible and corroborated through multiple sources, viable intelligence that this guy is right here and now we can go find him, which is why, you know, this is a big deal, is that to pinpoint a guy and actually be accurate as to his exact location, going and finding him, even though we didn't kill him, he blew himself up. The fact is the result is the same, is that's a big deal intelligence wise, you know, as far as a victory. So
we knew about it.
For sure. Now, did
He's been on the radar, is what you're saying. And then when the opportunity arises, boom,
sure.
strike.
But what's not said, and what's very possible, I don't have any intimate knowledge of it, how many times did we think he was somewhere, tried to go, and nothing happened? Who knows? It could have been a dozen, you know. So that's the tricky part with this. Like, to your question, you know, the different directors and you know, people in different places of a high value in our government that know, okay, this guy's in this region, this guy's in that region, this outfit's operating here, they have about this many troops. You know, you have a good idea of all those things.
I'm going to ask a crazy question, and I just want you to be thinking about it, both of you guys. Tyler, you think about it, see how you process this. So, you know how sometimes somebody all of a sudden has a bad rep for something they did, and they hire a publicist, and the publicist comes and tries to rebrand the person, right? Like, A-Rod rebranded himself very well until the J-Lo situation. It kind of went back to what it was, I think, a little bit, right? He took a little bit of a step back. But when A-Rod came back out, A-Rod was, this guy, listen, I did it. Here's what I did. This is what it is.
He's definitely transformed
And
himself.
then he was on, you know, a Shark Tank. You're seeing him everywhere. So you're like, dude, this guy's incredible on TV. Great communicator, great all this stuff. Then some people were upset what happened with J-Lo. No one knows the real story, what happened there. The J-Lo fans came out and didn't like him. But A-Rod recreated his persona. Would you guys both agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
Who else would you put in that category that recreated their persona at that level? I think musicians do it, rappers do it, Kardashian did it, stars do it all the time, right? And especially when you're getting older, you got to do it even more, because if you don't, you're no longer 22, you're now 53, you don't look like you did at 22, you got to kind of mix it up, right? I wonder if there's meetings where you're sitting there saying, look, let's face it, man. And by the way, I'm talking any president. Look, your score right now, your polls, you ain't looking good. Your rating sucks right now. You ain't looking good.
You're talking about Biden.
I'm talking about Biden. Midterms are coming up. We got to kind of fix some things up. So listen, 5-step plan. Here's what we're going to do. No longer we're going to talk about COVID. We're going to talk about cancer. Number 2, we need a strong position from your end to go take out somebody from ISIS. Let's call this. Number 3, we need to do you think those types of conversations happen?
They have to.
Okay, I agree. I agree.
There's no doubt that
and I wonder if there's like a 30-point marker of things to do to recreate your reputation. In these 30 markers, okay, which one of these do we want to do? Well, let's take this.
You've had a publicist before, right?
Sure.
I don't know your relationship
a handful,
with publicists.
Yeah.
It's their job to make you look better, to recreate you, give you better talking points. All right, listen, you're going to get off the COVID thing. You're going to start focusing on cancer. Buddy, you just botched Afghanistan. Let's kill some mofos in Syria. I think this is, PR 101, like get your ratings back up. And I think Biden needed that.
And to your point, Pat, I think it's important, and I want to get Mike's thoughts on this as well. Notice it was a raid, and they didn't send in a drone. They didn't send in a Reaper, because what happened last time we did that? We killed the aid worker and 7 children.
Yes.
We droned Pat Tillman. I mean, so where does that come from? Is it situational where they decide to raid, or?
Yeah, it is. I mean, so much of it is going to be driven by kind of the actionable intelligence on what's on target. Now, speaking from personal experience, we did operations where our intelligence was spot on, and there were times where we did operations where the intelligence was woefully inaccurate. And that's kind of the dice roll that you take with any of these things, is that it's always, from a collateral damage standpoint, I would say generally speaking, not always, it's a better mechanism to send human beings there to execute a mission because they're thinking on target. Now, it doesn't mean that it can't go wrong where civilians are using or being used as shields, or kids get blown up, or things of that nature, but you at least have an interactive component on the ground that can make decisions. Whereas, once the trigger is pulled on a drone hellfire, that's it. So, when it comes to things like this, it's generally regarded as the better decision for the big picture to send people. Now, the obvious drawback is that what if some of our guys get lost? Mm-hmm. My perception of especially how this administration would view that is that that's not a huge consideration on their part. It's 100% how is it going to make us look good, or what is the PR going to be based on something like this happening.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.